Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water, not to use it for anything, cooking, bathing, washing, anything at all. A chemical spill in the Elk River may have contaminated the drinking water. A federal investigation has been launched into how this happened.
People describe it as licorice, but it's this sweet type of smell.
Everybody's wanting water. There is no water, and that brings concern.
You can't wash the dishes. You can't take a shower. So that's more frustrating than it is nervous or upset.
Now it's utter chaos.
Eyes burning.
It's a zoo in here, isn't it?
It's a zoo.
If I can't take a shower, it's going to be ugly.
When the governor, for instance, says that this is not a coal issue, that's not true. This is very much related to the ongoing pollution of the coal industry in southern West Virginia counties that has created the condition that has allowed this spill to affect so many people.
This was not a coal company. This was a chemical supplier that where the leak occurred. You know, as far as I know, there was no coal mines within miles of this particular incident.
I guess 23, 26 years it hasn't been inspected, so if it had been certified every year like they're supposed to do, then we could have avoided this whole situation.
It was clear almost immediately that no one was prepared for something like that to happen.
It quickly became clear this was not a boil water advisory. This was something much more serious.
This was a colossal failure on all levels.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened. And at first, we didn't really know what that meant. I was on the set, I was anchoring, as I said, and so I immediately sent a note to our assignment editor and said, you know, check into this, let's see what this is. And finished anchoring the rest of that segment of the newscast. During the commercial break, came out, checked in, we'd gotten a little more information. We'd confirmed that yes, this came from the governor's office and it is a do not use order, which is different than a boil water advisory, which is, I think, what a lot of people maybe wondered at first, you know, is this just a boil water advisory? We get those all the time. And it quickly became clear this was not a boil water advisory. This was something much more serious.
When I first found out about the water leak, I was actually in Ripley working for the day, and it was on Twitter. I'd just checked briefly, and there was a proclamation from Governor Tomblin that said, do not use the water in Charleston. And that was really kind of the gist of it. I didn't know what else to expect, and I was just looking for more answers, as everybody was, I'm sure, but it was just kind of a panic thing, thinking that the water is out. There is no water. Do not use your water.
What happens here, where we get a lot of rainfall, we take water for granted. We're rarely under water stress in terms of water quantity stress. We just have so much water, and that water has a dilution value to it, so it dilutes our pollution. But what we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious, serious situation, and not one that's just, oh, environmentalists care about it. Everybody cares about it. Citizens care about it. Businesses care about it. It's wildly important to us, and we see it when we realize it when it's gone or when it's not available to us. That was the first thing that the chemical spill told us, is just how valuable it is.
In short, it was a mess. It was a mess. I was lucky. I had water. But that meant I was sort of ground zero for people who needed showers, who needed to fill up water bottles, for people who just kind of wanted a place where they could get away from the no water situation wherever they were and feel a sense of normalcy for a little bit. So I was very, very fortunate. But our staff, our reporters, their families, many of them, I think nearly all of them, they lived in apartments and in homes where they didn't have water either. So this was a story that they were covering, but they were also experiencing firsthand. And that was really important because I think it added an additional sense of urgency.
Well, in Charleston, I got a sense of uneasiness, to begin with, because most people understood that it was going to be a while before this really had any sort of conclusion. To find water we were fortunate that we have relatives in the area that are on wells, so we could go and shower anytime that we wanted or fill up our jugs anytime that we wanted. We're also, you know, probably a little bit better prepared than the average Joe for an incident like this. But seeing the infrastructure come into place basically for emergency water rationing was interesting, not only because no one was prepared for it, but also trying to fathom what it was like to be completely cut off, to not have an appropriate supply of drinking water, or to only have to be able to shower in a public space every couple of days if you're lucky.
But I do think that it's in the back of everyone's mind every day. And I think it's going to be in the back of everyone's mind for a long time.